If your lawyer isn't communicating with you the way that you want before you switch attorneys, I want you to watch this video. If you're new here, my name is Taylor Wins. I'm a divorce coach, a divorce attorney, and a divorced mom of four. And I saw this question. I see it a lot. I get it a lot. My attorney isn't getting back to me. I'm not hearing from them. Should I switch attorneys? So first of all, I want to back up and make the point that your lawyer should absolutely be keeping you reasonably informed of what's going on in your case and what the next steps in the process of your case are. So if your ex filed something with the court, you should be getting pretty much contemporaneous copies of the filings. If there's a hearing coming up, you should be hearing within a day or two that there's a hearing, when it is, where it is, and what time. But a lot of times there's a disconnect between how much communication the lawyer is giving to the client, and that's because the lawyer has not given the client the right expectation about what lawyers do in an office all day, right? So your lawyer's job is to come up with legal strategy, keep you informed of next steps, draft legal pleadings, appear at hearings, argue on your behalf, prepare for trial, execute a trial strategy plan, and actually represent you there. And that's it. That's their job, right? It's not their job to help you process your emotions, or when you should tell your friends or what you should tell your children. So there's a lot of communication that people are sending off to their attorneys that isn't the role of an attorney to answer, to have emotional or personal conversations with you. You're not friends with your attorney. Also, your attorney is a very expensive person to workshop things with. So your attorney wants you typically to come to them with a position that they can argue or defend. Okay, so this whole we're going to workshop these things together and whatever is not necessarily your attorney's role either. And there are a lot of people in the divorce and co-parenting industry where you can workshop your ideas and feelings with them that aren't your attorney, who's an expensive person at $425, $550, $700 an hour to do that with. What is, if you are communicating with your ex about things that are going on in your case, I want you to stop that right now, because I can guarantee you that there may be some spin on that. So if you're hearing next steps from your ex before you're hearing them from your attorney, consider one, why are you talking to your ex about process and next steps in your case if you're represented? That's a conversation for you and your attorney. And if your ex got the information faster because maybe his attorney was sitting on their computer when the thing got e-filed and pressed forward before your attorney saw it, because your attorney was in a 4-hour mediation that went till 5 o'clock in the evening, and then they, notified you the next day. Is that really your attorney not doing their job? Or is it something else? Like your ex is telling you these things in your ear and it's giving you a perception or a feeling, which may be by design. Some things you can do if you feel like your attorney isn't getting back to you or isn't communicating with you enough before you switch attorneys, because switching attorneys is expensive. You've got to get that new attorney up to speed. You've got to make sure that they get the file from your last attorney. They've got to file a new certificate of representation. They've got to talk to opposing counsel. All of that costs money because it all takes time. So before you go to that length, what I want you to consider maybe having a conversation with your attorney or your attorney's office about what their communication plan and their communication schedule is, to make sure that you're hearing back from them as frequently as you want. So maybe it's a conversation that is, hey, I'm not hearing back as frequently as I want. I feel like I might be missing things. I'm hearing things from my ex first. When can I expect to find out about new pleadings or new filings or a hearing that gets scheduled? Is there somebody else I can copy so that if I send an email and my attorney's out for 2 days or in trial or mediation or whatever, somebody else could get back to me if the question is pretty simple? And that might assuage some of those issues with the communication that are going on. I can guarantee you though, your attorney is likely a less communicative person than almost everybody else in your life. The type of personality it takes to be an attorney isn't always a warm, fuzzy one. And with the pressures of like meeting these filing deadlines and doing this and doing that, or sitting in consultations for 90 minutes or sitting in mediation for 4 hours, they're not very available. Like they're not just sitting around all day waiting to answer emails and be on the phone. That's just not what attorneys do. So it is also a matter of curbing your expectations based on an open and honest conversation that you have with them so that you can figure out and be on the same page about what the communication should look like. Means if they're missing deadlines, if they're not informing you, if they're not giving you enough heads up about where you need to be or what you should be collecting, then yes, maybe that is time to consider reaching out to a new attorney and having your file transferred to somebody who does have time and bandwidth to dedicate to your file. Hey, if you found this helpful at all, if you have other questions or want to hear more about this topic, make sure you leave a comment for me, and of course, like and subscribe so you never miss any information from me about all things divorce, custody, and co-parenting.